Hey guys, it's week 3, and we're in the middle of week 3. Well, not the middle of week 3. We're in the middle of the class already. Can you believe that? So it might be a little loud. I'm going to try to yell because I've got 2 fans going. It is super duper hot here this summer. And I've got some dishes that I got to do in the background because I just had lunch a little while ago. But anyway, I decided I would do this and help y'all out with this is the lab. Now, the lab used to be a drawing, which I really love the drawings because people would draw it and then label all of the lobes, which there are 4 lobes. The frontal, which is here in the front. The parietal, which means wall on the side, right? Parietal in Spanish, pared means wall. And then you have temporal over here on the side, this side, and low. And then the occipital. The occipital helps you with sight. This up here helps you with higher thinking and planning and things like that. Over here we have motor and voluntary motor. So I want to pick my nose. That's the one. And then I feel something. That's the other. That's the back part there. That's what we're talking about. Those, we'll get over those in a minute. And then down through here is hearing and speech and some of that. Now this little guy down here, which looks like a ball of yarn, kind of, if you look at it real closely, called the cerebellum. That helps you keep your balance and be able to know where your hands are at any given time. Like you can say, I'm pointing at my head without looking at it, right? Instead of doing this, I'm doing this. I know I'm doing this. Also, if you've seen this kind of test that they do, sobriety tests, they're testing that one because this is affected early on with alcohol, right? So let's go through these really quick. There's only 8 questions, and we've got them already done for you. I just wanted to show you some stuff, and we'll go through the convolution. Convolution. Something convoluted means confusing, or convoluted means like lumpy, basically. Located on the frontal lobe, immediately anterior, front again, right, to the central sulcus. Central sulcus is this guy down through here. They're really on the front one in through here. That's called the precentral gyrus. Precentral gyrus, motion, right? That's voluntary, which means I want to do it. Not like, twitches and stuff. But if I go like this, or whatever, high, okay, something like that, whatever those are, that's precentral gyrus. Now, for me to know I did it, or for me to reach for something and touch it, I'm going to get the opposite side, and we'll get to that one in a minute. A lump or bump, or elevation on the surface of the cerebrum, right? Cerebellum, cerebrum, is also called a convolution, is a gyrus. That's any of these lumpy bumps, right? You can see them through here. Anything that's sticking out. Now, smooth brain people don't know much. Someone who works out and does something more, like, for example, everybody thinks that Einstein was super smart. He really was. And so they looked at his brain, they took his brain out and they tore it apart, and they looked at all of the different things that they could find and say, like, what is it about his brain that's different? The only thing that they found that was really different, and notably, was stuff precentral gyrus for the left hand, which is on the right side of the brain, okay? So it's over here for the left hand. Why would that be? He loved to think by playing the violin, and so it takes a lot of finger movements to do that, and so that's what he really developed in there. The next one, a shallow groove, any of the indentations on these guys, is called the sulcus, right? Something like the sulk. Someone's sulking, they're sad, they're like, oh, you're sulking. Deep groove found on the surface of the brain, in deeper, there's a big giant one through here, is called a fissure, okay? Like a fissure, climbers fell into the fissure in the ice and whatever, had to be rescued. Convolution is located on the parietal lobe, up through here, immediately posterior, behind the central sulcus, that's through here, is called the postcentral gyrus. We talked about that one. That is sensory. So me feeling this and going like, whoa, look, there's a bump there and there's a groove there. That's my postcentral gyrus working along with the precentral gyrus, because it's telling me where to move my finger, and then I'm feeling stuff, right? The sulcus that separates the frontal lobe from the parietal lobe, okay? And also the sulcus that separates the primary motor cortex from the primary somatosensory cortex. So that's the precentral and postcentral gyrus. That's the central sulcus in the center of the head, right? Okay, next one, lateral sulcus. This moves, this separates the temporal lobe from the frontal and parietal lobe. Temporal lobe, frontal, and parietal, right? You can see that there. This is the front of the brain, right? This is the frontal, parietal, temporal. This guy through here is called the central sulcus, okay? No, sorry, lateral sulcus. Totally forgot that. Central, lateral. Totally goofed that up. Longitudinal fissure. Fissure, remember, means a big giant crease or whatever. Now you can split things apart into 2 hemispheres. There's 2 sides. There's a right and a left hemisphere, and those usually work on the opposite side. So my right hemisphere tells my left hand what to do, and my left hemisphere tells my right finger that I'm feeling my finger. It actually gets more complex than that, but that's the kind of thing we're looking at. Now remember, there's a lot of different things as we go through this one. Let's look at these. Oh, labeling parts of the brain. I kind of went through those. Those should be pretty easy, hopefully. We go through those ones. That's a lot of questions, man. 15 questions. You can check them and do them right away. Redo them right away if you have to, okay? There's some internal parts here that you know what? It's been 5 minutes and a half. I'm going to cut it off at that and let you guys do the rest. Let's look at the other ones real quick for just a couple other questions. And nervous system. There you go. That's it. Anyway, really good. So keep doing what you're doing, you guys. The discussions are looking really, really good. I'm really impressed with those. I love interacting like that. It's kind of fun. That's really the only place we really get to interact, which is kind of cool. Let's meet again at some point. Look for the other videos. I do go over discussions again because a few people are still having some issues with just saying things like, I agree, I think you're great. Wonderful, but so what? I mean, I love that. You guys are very motivating and very, very encouraging to each other. And that's a good thing, but let's not be too much on that. Add some meat to it, right? Anyway, this is Sean over, Dr. Sean, actually, at Fortis. And this is for the OAHP 106. This is your Anatomy and Physiology class, week 3. And we'll see you on the flip side.